Welcome to Dr. Balaga's God Knowledge Doc podcast, your quick dive into the latest medical breakthroughs to keep you ahead of the curve. Let's get started. Today is May 18th, 2025. This video is on a Lancet article published online on May 15, 2025, titled Safety and Efficacy of a Novel ANGPTL4 Inhibitory Antibody or ANGPTL4 Inhibitory Antibody for lipid lowering, results from a phase 1 and phase 1b/2a clinical studies. There's an accompanying commentary titled Safely Lowering Triglycerides through ANGPTL4 Inhibition. ANGPTL4 inhibits lipoprotein lipase, elevating triglycerides and remnant cholesterol. Human loss of function variants are linked to lower triglycerides, decreased remnant cholesterol, decreased atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, and decreased type 2 diabetes risk. ANGPTL4 inhibitor relieves the suppression of lipoprotein lipase, leading to an enhanced hydrolysis of triglycerides and a faster clearance of remnant lipoproteins. As a result, it causes a marked reduction in plasma triglycerides and remnant cholesterol. The latter two are known to be associated with residual risk after LDL lowering. So their reduction hopefully will have better outcomes. This study was done because mouse models showed safety concerns, example lymphadenitis, delaying development. It was done in two parts. Phase 1 in the US, single dose of MAR001 in 56 healthy volunteers with various body mass index and triglyceride levels. The second part done in Australia, phase 1b/2a, multi-dose, which include 150, 300, 450 milligrams of MAR1 versus placebo every 2 weeks for 12 weeks in 55 patients. Endpoints include safety, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, triglyceride and remnant cholesterol levels, an MRI of the mesenteric lymph nodes. They use descriptive statistics and a Hodges-Lehmann estimator. Key findings: MAR001 was safe, well tolerated, no serious adverse events or systemic inflammation, no change in mesenteric lymph nodes size or inflammation via MRI, dose-dependent decrease in triglycerides, as high as 52% reduction in triglycerides, and decreased remnant cholesterol by 52.5% at 450 milligrams. There was increased HDL cholesterol, about 19%, no change in LDL or total cholesterol. The key takeaway, ANGPTL4 inhibition with MAR001 shows promising lipid-lowering efficacy, genetic safety signals validated clinically, unlike murine concerns. This supports the next phase of trials for atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease risk in hypertriglyceridemic patients. The mechanism includes enhancing triglyceride clearance and storage in healthy adipose tissue. The accompanying commentary said MAR001 safely reduced triglycerides and remnant cholesterol in early phase trials. MRI and biomarkers showed no adverse lymphatic or inflammatory effects. ANGPTL4 genetic variants show promise for both lipid lowering and diabetes risk reduction. The critique: sample size was 55 and follow-up 12 weeks. Too small, too short to rule out rare or late adverse events. Very few patients were on statins, limiting generalizability to real-world populations. Lack of ApoB data and diversity, mostly white participants, calls for broader studies. A liver-specific GalNAc conjugated antisense approach is being developed as a potentially safe alternative. Final note: larger long-term randomized clinical trials are needed to confirm efficacy and safety versus atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease endpoints. This is an additional piece on remnant cholesterol for those who are curious. Remnant cholesterol is the cholesterol content of triglyceride-rich lipoproteins, which include VLDL, IDL, intermediate density lipoproteins, and chylomicron remnants. The formula estimated in studies is remnant cholesterol is equivalent to total cholesterol minus LDL cholesterol and HDL cholesterol. What's the clinical significance? High remnant cholesterol is causally linked to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease independent of LDL cholesterol. It reflects the atherogenic particles left after triglyceride removal and is increasingly recognized as a target for residual cardiovascular risk. Podcast brought to you by Master MedFacts at mastermedfacts.com.